I'm going to show you how to install Mission Control using our embedded server runtime. So I have provisioned a set of VMs in AWS EC2. So you can see that I have a control plane instance, which will be used to be the Kubernetes control plane. The primary. Then we have 3 platform VMs, which will host the observability stack. So that's Grafana Mimir, Loki, and Vector in our case. And lastly, we have 6 database VMs, which we'll use to run DSC and Cassandra processes. So I'm going to SSH into my control plane. And if you head to the documentation of Mission Control, here you have the server runtime installation procedure. And we'll head straight to this command line, which will perform the installation. So it will both install the runtime, which is Kubernetes in our case, and Mission Control. So I'm going to slightly change this to install our latest beta release. But most likely installing stable releases will be about using just the Mission Control URL. So let me use unstable here. Of course, your license file only binds to a single release channel. The installation of the control plane instance is finished, and we have a few interesting information that we'll save for later. And for now, we're going to focus on this last one. So first, we're going to make it so that processes for the database and the monitoring stack don't get scheduled on this control plane node. So going back to our documentation, we will run this command, which will taint our primary so that it doesn't get any pod scheduled. Okay, so now we can proceed with this command and we'll install the platform nodes. So let's add to our first platform instance. In order to make sure that the right processes get scheduled on these platform instances, we're going to add a label to indicate the runtime that this is a platform node. Installation has completed for this platform node, so we will proceed with the same command for the next 2 platform nodes. Installation of the platform nodes is complete. So we'll head back to the output of the primary installation, and you'll see here that we have a URL for COTS ADM. So this is the tool that allows you to install, configure, and upgrade Mission Control itself. So let's head to that page. Let's bypass the TLS warnings. You can upload your own certificates if you do not want, on the screen, if you do not want to have the HTTPS warning anymore. So we'll just proceed And then here on the next line, we have the password that we need to enter here. And now I need to upload my license file. So I'm going to pick the one that matches the channel that I'm installing. So I'll land on the configuration screen for Mission Control. So we're installing in control plane mode. You need to provision a bucket for metric storage through Grafana Mimir and log storage through Loki. So in this case, I'm going to use GCS. I have a bucket available there. So you see that this service account field has appeared. So I'm going to put in the service account JSON that will be used to access the Mimir and Loki buckets. So I'm going to give my bucket name here for Mimir. That's slightly bigger. And then I'm going to give the Loki bucket name. And here you'll see that we have the default admin user that's populated, but you can specify your own username, email, and password for that admin user. And lastly, you have the DEX connector configuration. So we support LDAP or OpenID, and OpenID gives you access to a wide array of authentication systems. So we're just going to proceed with the admin user. So it ran some check to verify that we have all our prerequisites. So now I'm going to hit deploy, and the installation will go on. While this is running, you can see here at the top that we have a cluster management tab, which allows us to see all the servers or instances that are part of this mission control cluster. And you can see at the bottom here that you have a add a node button, which will allow you to get that command line to expand the cluster for future needs. Okay, so mission control moved in ready state and is up and running. We expose mission control's UI on all servers that are part of the cluster through the 3880 port. And here I can log in into mission control. So I'm going to reuse that admin user that was created as part of the configuration. Sign in. And I'm logged in into my mission control UI. So next, I'm going to proceed with the installation of the database nodes. Heading back to the cluster management tab, we're going to get that command to add a new node. And we're going to SSH individually into all of the database instances and run our command. And we're going to specify our role label. And this time we're going to set it to database. Note that you can have multiple servers joining the cluster concurrently. That's not a problem if you want to move faster with the installation process. All the nodes have now joined the cluster, so you can see that we have a mix of platform and database nodes. and our list is complete. So we can now proceed and create a project, which is how we organize clusters for DSC and Cassandra. So I'm going to create a demo project. In this project, I'm going to create a cluster, which I'll name demo. We'll use DSC 6841. And we're going to create a single DC with a single rack. And since we have 6 database nodes, we're going to use them all and start 6 nodes. Okay, so here you see you have some resource requests. So head to the documentation for more information about this. It's going to control where your DSC processes will get scheduled depending on the available resources. So let's use 12 gigs of RAM. Let's use the default storage class. We only have one available here. And let's start these nodes with 6 gigs of heap. And you can see that the heap that I can set is at most half of the available memory. Cluster created. So it's currently updated, and after a few minutes, the whole cluster should be up and running. All 6 nodes are now up and running, as you can see, and we can, for example, head to the observability tab and see that we have our metrics. Let's make that a little bigger. Metrics are flowing in, and we can access the logs for our cluster.
For more information on DataStax Mission Control, just head on out to datastax.com/products/mission control. There you can find all the information you need, including downloads and documentation. Thank you and have a great day.